Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise here, and I am not too proud to admit that I do not contradict myself. Well, it's not entirely true. I mean, I used to think it was, but now, honestly, I don't know. And that is something that I'm sure of. You see, my path of confusion and inner conflict and turmoil, well, it all started last week when I stumbled upon an announcement for a brand new vampire-themed social deduction game, Bloodbound. Now, social deduction games, they're alright, but I've never really been interested in vampire-themed anything. But there was something about Bloodbound that captured my attention at the very first glance. And so I let myself become interested, if not enamored, with this game, and decided to start doing some research on it. And only then did I discover that Bloodbound is not a new game at all, having been originally released in 2013. Oh, and there's more, because once I laid eyes on the original version of the game, I realized that I was, in fact, familiar with this game, and I had previously decided that it was a game that I was not interested in, not tempted to play it in the least, at all. So, what changed between 2013 and today? Did I grow and mature as a gamer and a person? No, not even close. No, the only difference between the two versions of the game is that the artwork on the new version of it looks like this, while the art on the 2013 version looks like this. The game was previously populated with photos of real people in cosplay costumes and makeup. The result was best put by a quote from another gamer who I overheard as they looked upon the old box for the very first time and replied, "Well, that is nice." Nothing else about the two versions of this game is different. Not the name, not the theme, nor the mechanisms, the rule set, the artwork. No. The artwork is the thing that's different. I mean, that's what this whole thing is about. But everything else about the game is exactly the same. So it made me wonder, is art an even more powerful factor in determining whether or not we like a game than I had first thought? I mean, technically speaking, artwork is just a thin visual veneer applied to the surface of a game. The artwork in and of itself doesn't have any effect on a game's actual gameplay. And that's what concerns me. To allow myself to be swayed simply by a game's artwork. I mean, is it possible that I am even more superficial than I think I am? That is not the question that I want you to answer this time around. Instead, I'm just curious to know if you have ever had a similar experience. Has a game's artwork ever been the factor that has prevented you from getting to know a game? Or, on the other side, has it caused you to hang on to a game that you otherwise did not like? Well, in the comments below, paint me a picture of what draws you to a game and why. All right, story time. So my freshman year in college, I was in an art class, and the art building on campus also had a gallery. And one week, the gallery had an exhibit by a very controversial painter. The subject matter was definitely adult in nature for mature audiences and dealt with some very, very touchy subjects. So, one day in class, the art instructor had the whole class go down to the art gallery to just look around. No assignment other than just going and observing the art there. And I'll be honest, I was a little disturbed by the images, but I was finding ways to appreciate the artwork. That is until one of my fellow students and another started to get in an argument about the images that were on display. One of the students was completely disgusted by what they saw and was complaining that this art should not even be on display on the college campus. The other student actually knew the artist personally and knew the stories behind each of the paintings. So as that student began to defend the artist, the other student became even more upset, and their argument grew and grew louder and stronger and more adamant until our instructor interrupted the argument by quietly approaching the two students and completely emotionlessly stated, "Isn't it amazing what art can do?" and turned around and walked away. So, is it fair for artwork to have the capability to completely change my opinion about a board game? Are you kidding? It's amazing what art can do.